Okay, so as we have discussed that the moment you want to connect a page to an object, you have to use a controller, right? So I'm creating a new Visualforce page and I will connect it to account object, alright? So this is the simplest type of controller, standard controller, which we are going to use. Okay, so to connect this page with the account object, we'll need to just define standard controller equals account, and controller is an attribute of the page component. All right, so this needs to be defined here. Standard controller equals account. So just writing this much basically connects your page to the account object. Okay, and this standard controller called account, this also brings in the standard account functionalities and all that stuff into this page. Okay, so now you can display the details of or the fields of that particular record, right? So let's say I want to show the account name. I can simply write it this way: account.name okay, same way you can make it type of the account, industry, phone, fax, alright. Okay, now only the label that I have put here, that is coming. Okay, but the actual value from the account object is not being displayed. I said show me account.name, show me the name of the account. It does not show anything, it has just kept it blank. The reason is that we have not connected this page to any record at this point of time, right? So there can be a lot of accounts in the account object. Account is an object, it's a table, and there can be multiple accounts in that. However, I have not specified which account I am talking about. So for that I have to go and take the ID of the account record and supply it here in the URL. Alright. So open any account record, take the ID and supply it in the URL. So after page name you should put question mark ID equals and then paste the ID. Okay, and press enter now. Sorry, I think question mark ID equals, yeah. So after the page name, just put a question mark ID equals these 4 characters and paste the ID of the record, whichever record details you want to display. So this is just for testing purpose. Just for your testing purpose we are using this thing. This is definitely not the practical way of getting the IDs into this URL, but how to get the IDs and all, we will get into that later. Now let us just use an ID. So take an ID of any of the record, put it in the URL and just see if your page is working properly or not. Okay, so the page is working pretty fine, it's pretty okay. Alright, now let's start putting a few more components. Okay, so there is another component which is called a page block. Now page block is a component which is used for putting blocks in the page, creating blocks in the page. So you just have to, and all Apex all Visualforce components do start with Apex colon. They start with Apex colon. Okay. So now page block. So I've just put a page block. Let's save it. See what do we get. See, this is what a page block creates. Creates a block. Okay. Now some part of the data you can easily put inside this page block. Got this thing? Because phone and fax are outside the block, they are not included inside it, and the other things are inside the block. That is the reason why they got included. You can create another block for phone and fax. Apex page block. Alright. Now this page block component has an attribute called title. So you can give a title also to the block, like general account info. So you see that this appears as the title of the page block. Okay, you can put title here also, which can be account contact info. Got it? All right. So this is how you can create a page block. Now if you want to display the display all the details of a record, okay, on the page. Right now what we are doing, we are displaying details field by field, so every field we need to write. If you want to display all details of the record, you simply have to write a small component which is called, let me create one more page block, and I can write apex detail. So there is a component called apex detail. So just writing this line of code, writing a component called apex detail, will bring all the details of the record. Which record? The one that you have supplied the ID for. Okay, see, apex detail alone can bring all the details of that record on the page. Okay, sometimes you just want to display all the details of that record, you can use apex detail. Okay, now it shows you details of that account, and along with that it also shows you the related lists. Related list means the list of child records under that particular parent record. So whatever child records lists are there under account, like the contacts related to that account, the opportunities, the cases, this is also being displayed under details, right? If you don't want to display the related list, then you can simply go and put an attribute here in the detail component which says related list equals false. So now it only shows the account details. Okay, by default related list is true. If you don't want to see the related list on the detail component, then just make it false. That's it. And for this page block I can put a title. I will say this time I want to show account name as the title. So you can do that as well. You can just display the account name as the title of the page block. So here it is, here we are. See, account name appears as the title of the page block and all the details are being displayed. Fine. So this is how easy it is to create Visualforce pages. You see, I mean, using page block, the look and feel of the Salesforce has automatically come, right? So the styling and everything is taken care by these page block components or any other Visualforce component. Fine. So this is what makes it easier because we are using this platform and this Visualforce is on that platform. The components of Visualforce makes life easier for you. Anyone who has done a bit of HTML or anyone who actually went through the HTML tutorials must have realized that we have to spend a lot of time into doing the styling part, left alignment, right alignment, center alignment, color, background color, those things. So you don't have to do anything. It gives you very professional looking styling automatically. All the components have their own inbuilt styling. You can change those things. You can put your custom styling. Styling, when I say, I mean the look and feel of how things will look and not. But Salesforce by default, the Visualforce components do have their custom, standard styling done, and which looks pretty much in gel with what the standard look of the application, right? So you don't have any problem whatsoever. So you don't have to spend too much of time into styling and all until and unless you want to really have a very jazzy kind of a looking page or something like that. But you are pretty good with the styling part that they have provided. See, it looks pretty professional and it is in sync with the design that is there of the overall application, so it's pretty good. Okay, now the only thing that you have to focus on is what data to be displayed, how it needs to be displayed and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry too much on the look and feel of it. Got it? So this is one more page. Let's go ahead and create one more page. I'll create another page called V3.
Jeet, can you show the code once again?
Can I show you? Give me 1 minute. Yeah, here it is. Questions?
Hi Jeet, Rohit here.
Yeah, tell me.
Anjit, basically the entire HTML blocks, I have been through the tutorial, not the full tutorial, but yes, completed most of the most of the tags. So I guess mostly the HTML, if we have hands-on experience or have good knowledge of HTML, then I guess this Visualforce will be more similar to that, apart from 2 or 3 main tags. Entire HTML is actually what I have seen is actually only. So we have to do a lot of. So we have to go through any other tutorials or editors for HTML coding part.
No, you don't have to go through HTML. I mean, the only reason why I asked you to go through HTML because I wanted you to have some idea on how HTML works. Even if you don't understand HTML that much, or if you just understand basics of HTML, you are absolutely good, because in this entire code there is only one HTML tag that we are using, that's for line break, right? Sometimes you will not like much. So don't worry about HTML. That was just starting point that I told you, but don't get too much into HTML, because people who know HTML, for them it's good, but people who do not know HTML, don't spend too much of time on HTML. Instead, I think this is pretty simple to understand, right? A page block. Is it very difficult to understand?
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, this is all self-explanatory. So now instead of spending much time on HTML, start spending more of your time onto Visualforce. That will make life beautiful for you.
So basic HTML will help. I mean, will help us to understand.
I also do not know more than basic HTML. So if you ask me very complex component tags and all, I also do not know. I mean, in fact, basically what happens is no one knows. How many things can you remember? So we don't remember everything about HTML. So I am very bad in these HTML tags and CSS and all that stuff. I understand the concept. So you understand that concept, that okay, fine, this is how HTML works, more than enough. Now whenever you have to use something, you will go back to the maybe W3 schools or some other reference library, see the reference and all, and use it, right? So that is it. Understand the concepts. That's it.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
And after every session, what we are going to do is we are going to share the codes that we have done in the session. Okay. Try to do the complete code on your own. Don't copy paste the code. Try to write it, and that is the reason why I write each and every code in front of you, so that you get a complete idea how things are being added one by one and all that stuff. You also write the codes. More you write, and try to change a few things here and there. More you write, you will have a better understanding of things. Fine. Okay.
Jeet, I have a question.
On this code, you want me to display this code?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, on the code. The third last line, after false, you had put in a forward slash.
Yeah.
So, if you can just elaborate on this particular thing, because there was no, we have not used any tag in this, so you are closing this particular thing, I guess.
No, see, there are two types of components. I think the other day also you had a confusion with this. Okay, so there will be whatever component name ABC, either it will start and then it will get closed. Okay, there is another way of writing. Some components you don't have to start and close. There you can just write it this way. Got it? So some components will be like this, some components will be like this, for your understanding. So if you have to put something within the component, then it has to start and then it has to end. Okay. If it's a self-contained component, then you don't have to start and close it. So like Apex detail is something where inside that you don't have to do any stuffing. So this is a component which will start and close in the same line. You don't have to have a start and end of it. Got it?
Okay.
Page block, page, these have to have a start and end because I have to do a bit of stuffing there. Got it? So that is the thing. So the same thing happens with HTML tags also, and it's pretty much applicable on our Visualforce components. Some of Visualforce components will just start and end there itself, like a button, command button, like a link. So I mean, in that link there is nothing else that I have to put. So link will be a one-liner component. You don't have to have two lines. But things like page block, table, form, page, these have other things inside them. Got it? So that is how it's going to be.
Okay.
So Jeet, Sai here.
Yes, Sai.
Yeah, I mean, like you just displayed the account detailed page, right? So it does have the buttons like edit and some other buttons.
Yes, it has.
So does that functionality work, or we have to?
No, works completely. It works.
Or we have to explicitly write some other?
No, you don't have to write anything. For instance, you are using detail thing. It has got all the components of the actual page, actual account page, and got it here. So all the functionalities work. Absolutely.
Oh, it's something which works like an include. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. All right. We are all good here. Any other questions? I'm going to create one more page, but before that, if anyone has a question, please ask. Okay. So let's create one more page, V3. And Suresh, there is a small help that I will need from you. End of every session, you have to copy all these codes. I'm basically going to use this series V, V1, V2, V3, V4. This is the series which I'm going to use. You don't create any page in this series. That is one thing. And you can use some other series or some other names. And every end of every session, because this is your developer edition, copy all the codes and send it to me, and I will share it across with everyone. Right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
please do
Actually, I
that.
just created some V1 with the new details what you have mentioned now. Can I keep it that right now?
But for other pages, please don't change that thing, and you take some other naming convention. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That
Yeah.
will work.
Thank you.
So that, I mean, we are sharing the same code with everyone, and you guys will have, the freedom to create your own pages. Everyone can create them. But what we are discussing in the session, at least everyone will have that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Apex detail. Okay, we use Apex detail, and just using this single component brings all the details of the record onto the page. So this time let me use another record. Let me use edge communications. So just that ID I have to change. Question mark ID equals this. Done. All right. So we are quite okay here. So right. Now I don't want to see the related lists. What will I do? I'll just go say related list equals false. Save. See how easy it is, right? Writing Visualforce code. You just type a little bit of the initial things. You don't have to remember everything also. Just write a bit of it and it will give you suggestions, right? So, and then you can just choose from that. See? So life is very easy with Visualforce. Okay. This editor is pretty nice. It is very helpful. Okay. So I have made related list equals false also. That's fine. Now it does not show the related list. Okay. What I want to do is I want to display the related list, but I want to just display cases. Okay. Now for displaying one of the related list, you can use another component called related list. There's a component called related list. Okay. And there you have to give the name of the list that you want to display. I want to display cases only. See. Okay, so what I have done, I have just used another component called related list. So there is a component called detail, and related list is an attribute of the detail component. And there is another thing called related list, which has which can be used for displaying a particular related list. Got this? Please let me know if there is any question. Alright. The same way, if you want one more related list to be displayed here, simply use apex related list component one more time, and this time give the list name as opportunities. Apex related list name can be contacts. Do you see this? Okay. So if you want some of the related list to be displayed, and you want also to control the order of the related list, then you can use related list component after the detail component. Okay. Detail component is capable of either displaying all the related list or none of them. True will display all of them, false will display none of them. But if you want a few to be visible and you also want to set the order on your own, then you should use it like this. Got it? Even if you want the related list to be at the top, just let me put apex page block, give it title list of child records. See, now my child records come first and then comes the details of the account, right? So basically you have that flexibility of whatever you want to display, where you want to display and everything. Got it? Sometimes your customer support team may have a requirement that they want to see the cases first and then the details of the account. Which all cases have been logged by that account. The moment they are talking to the customer, they want to see the cases first and then the account. So that's sort of thing. Got this? Clear? So this is how it can be done. Now using these related list and all, I am going to create one more example, and that example we will use for displaying data into tabs. So this way what is happening, this way if I have related list, multiple related list, and if I have multiple records, now just there are 3 records under this, right? Let's say if you have 15, 20, 30 cases and you have some 30, 40 opportunities and then you have 20, 30 contacts, then this page will become very long, right? Okay. So let's think about this as a requirement. Your client tells you that, see, I have a lot of cases per account and then there are a lot of opportunities. I want my end users to see all these things, but if we display these things in a linear fashion, then what will happen? This page will become very long, okay? And my customer support executive people actually become, they face a bit of challenge in viewing this page because it's a long page. Can you do something about it? So what we are going to do now is we are going to create the same page. We'll show the details as well as the related list, but with a different approach. So we will use the tabs. We'll create tabs for each thing. So one tab for cases, one tab for opportunities. That is what we are going to do. Okay. It's very simple creating tabs for this. Before I go into tabs thing, we are all clear on this. So I've not done anything. This is just a 6-7 lines code. 3 related list components, 1 detail component. That's it, nothing else. Alright, so just 2 components that I have used here. Okay. Alright. So let's go to another example. Okay, V4. This is where we will create tabs. So I'll simply go to standard controller, say account. I am using account most of the times because there are a few related lists with the accounts, contacts, opportunities and all. You can try the same thing with other objects also, like opportunity, contact. Okay. Try doing it with other objects also. Okay. Okay. Now what I have to do, first thing, I need to have the tabs there in place, right? Then we will put the way we have earlier created page blocks, the same way this time we are going to use the tabs. Okay. So for tabs, first thing is Apex tab panel. Tab panel is the panel on which your tabs will sit. Okay. So just create the tab panel and see what it shows. Okay, see, this is the tab panel, this line that you can see, this is the panel for the tab. Okay, whenever you want to create tabs, you first of all have to create a panel on which you can fix the tabs. Like these are all tabs here, right? So there is a panel actually here. Now on this panel there are all these small tabs, right? The same way you have to define a tab panel first. Inside the tab panel we will start creating the tabs. Okay, so what do I have? First of all I have the page component, the outermost. Then I have created a page block. Inside page block I have created a tab panel. Inside the tab panel we are going to create the tabs. Apex tab. So there is another component called tab. Okay, now tab, you can have a label for the tab. Account name. Account.name. Okay, so this is the label for the tab. See, the tab got created. Does not display any name because you have not supplied the ID. So go and bring the ID from this record. Question mark ID equals, paste the ID. See, this tab got created. Now inside this tab there is nothing. At this point of time it's a blank thing inside. Now what you want to display inside the tab, that you have to write here. So let me just bring the Apex detail component here. Apex detail component will be, what will be the Apex detail component?
I guess your screen is not moving. Now it is moving.
Related list equals false. Okay, so inside this tab panel I have created a tab. Okay, these three lines, this is for the tab. Inside the tab I have put a component Apex detail. So inside that tab I want to see the details of the account. That's fine. Okay, so now what do we have here? We have a tab and that tab shows the details of the account. Absolutely alright. We want another tab to be here. Apex, another tab. I will label it as opportunities. And inside this we will use another component which is related list. This time we just want to show the opportunities, right? So use the other component, related list equals opportunities. See this? So now we have two tabs. One is for details, the other is only for the opportunities. You need more tab for cases and contacts, you can create. After this tab, go and add another tab. Label it, call it cases. Apex related list will be cases. Same way, one more for contacts. Label it as contacts, put apex related list equals contacts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs now. One for details, the other for opportunities, other for cases, other one for contacts. Okay. Now there is a small thing that I want. Now the size of the tabs is not fixed, right? So what I want to do is I want all these tabs to be of same size. Width of the tab should be same for all the tabs. So there is another component for tab, another attribute of the tab component, which is called label width. You can make it, let's say 300, and put it same 300 for every tab. Okay. Let's remove the sidebar. Now it kind of fits into the page. Okay. So you can control these things, what is the width of the tab that you want and all that stuff. Got it? 4 tabs and all that. Fine. So it's very easy. Creating tabs and then putting stuff into the tabs is pretty easy. So you'll have to define the label of the tab. You have to define the label width, which is again not required. We just put it because we thought it should be good. Then inside the tab, what you want to show or what you want to view, you can just put that stuff. Now there is one challenge that I see on this page. So we have understood the concept of this page. Before I get into the other stuff, please let me know if there is any question. Have a quick look onto this code. Here it is, and tell me if you have any questions on this. Do you find it do you find anything which is difficult to understand here? It's pretty simple, right? Very simple coding. Okay, so there is one small thing which appears to be as a challenge to me at this point of time, which I do not like about this page, is when I click on a tab, you see it takes long time to reload the page and refresh the entire stuff and then come back. See, it is taking considerable amount of time. Click on a tab and then the complete page gets reloaded and all. I don't like this thing, right? My end users do not like this because it's taking too much of time in reloading the page. Okay, so this is where we will use the Ajax concept. Okay, Ajax concept basically is about refreshing partial page, partial refresh of the page. And now what is happening now, the moment you click on the tab, it is reloading the entire page, which is not required because all these things are same. So everything does not need to be reloaded. If you click on that tab, only this area, the component inside the tab should get reloaded. So that area, that section only needs to be reloaded, right? That will save you a lot of time and that will make things faster, right? So now what is happening, now the entire page is getting reloaded and that is taking too much of time. So performance is getting hit. So for that you just have to do a small thing. You just have to define a small attribute on the tab panel. You have to say switch type equals Ajax. That's it. Just this small thing, the moment you say this, your refreshing will become a lot more faster. Now from this to opportunities to cases, see the entire page is not getting reloaded now. Now only change that is happening is on this section. So you click on opportunities, now it's much faster than earlier. Click on edge communications, it's much faster. So things are happening only here, right? So while you're using tabs, most of the cases you would require the switch type equals Ajax. So this will improve the performance of your page, right? So that it does not take a long time for the page to get reloaded and the end user keeps on waiting. Alright, please tell me if anyone has a question here.
I mean, Sai here. I mean, Jeet, I just have a question. Like, see, when you have the concept of using the Ajax for these tabs, I mean, what's the point in using again, the kind not using the Ajax component? Like, I know that how Ajax works, but I'm asking like where we use the to load all the data again and not using the Ajax. Any scenarios where we don't need Ajax?
There can be scenarios where you want, maybe some page to be again reloaded because your variable will get a value or something like that. So in that case, you might want to reload the complete page and all that stuff, right? So there can be scenarios, but yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there can be some scenarios. As I told you, most of the times you will definitely use Ajax. So that is something there. But yeah, that too is an option that if I want the entire page to be reloaded once again, then let me use the other thing, right?
Okay. All
right. Okay. So anyone has any other question on this for now? No, we are all good. Fine. So that is what I think I'll keep it till for today. And Suresh, please do copy these codes starting from V1 and send it to me.
Sure.
I'm gonna share it with all of you. Go back, practice on these things, okay? And tomorrow, once we meet at this time, we are gonna do a few more examples, and then we will get into a few more components and all, right? So just work on this and let's meet tomorrow and do a few more examples. All right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks. Yeah.
Jeet, Sai here. One more question. I mean, like in the individual tabs, you can individually implement the other functionality also, right? Like the search bar and sorting and something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Fine.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.